What is up, my fellow Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, and Eagle Fang friends? In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I think Robby was not in Season 3 as much. In Season 1, he's in there the same amount he is this season, but in Season 2, he definitely stepped up in terms of being one of the front characters that we see quite a lot of, and definitely has one of the biggest arcs. Now, you fast forward to this season, yes, Robby is still a major character, but his scenes are kind of few in between, and here's why I think that is. This whole season has been building upon the fact of abandonment. Robby feels abandoned by everyone. He feels betrayed by Daniel, he feels second fiddle to Miguel, he feels kind of rejected by Johnny, and it sort of feeds into this where, you know, I've seen people commenting, you know, oh, we love Miguel, this, that, whatever. And don't get me wrong, I love Miguel. Miguel's the man. He's still the MVP. Still the heart of the show. I'm just saying that's what the creators have intended this season. The reason Robby isn't in it as much is because I feel like it's quite literally a meta way of saying, yeah, this is the problem, is Robby is forgotten. You know, a tongue-in-cheek way of sort of poking at us, at the audience, and saying, hey, this is why, because we're so focused on other characters, we completely forget about other characters, if you know what I mean. While people like Miguel and Sam get all the attention, as they should, they've got a lot to go through, people like Robby get pushed to the back burner and get completely ignored and rejected. And I've said before about the show's perception. I've said before about certain scenes where Miguel walks in on the LaRusso family, sees Robby and Sam at the table, assumes the worst. Where Miguel comes into the scene, assumes the worst, where, you know, Robby has his hand on Tory and is trying to break up the fight. He assumes Robby started the fight, when Robby was actually saving it. Then you have Robby, where he went to go and see Cobra Kai and see his dad. He saw Johnny give Miguel his gi, and then he saw it as something completely different. That's what I mean about the show and perception and all that. But I feel like the writers and the creators of this show had Robby on a back burner this season because it's meant to feed into his downfall. His arc doesn't play front and center this season. His arc plays in the background. His arc plays across the season in very, very minute ways. And characters like Hawk, Dimitri, Miguel, and Sam, and Tory, they take center stage. Robby takes a back burner because in his arc, that's the point. He's the one that no one is paying attention to. So when he turns at the end and he joins Cobra Kai and he embraces that dark side, it hurts. It's tragic. It's literally a tragedy. It's a sucker punch. Because then we all sort of look back in reflection when we watch Season 3 back and we go, you know what? Who was there for Robby? Kreese kind of was. And that's the problem. And because you see Kreese visit him once, right? Think about this. Because Robby's arc is playing in the background, what if Kreese visited him more than once? What if one scene with him and Kreese was all we needed to think maybe he could join Cobra Kai? And then he starts the fight. He strikes first. Maybe he could join Cobra Kai. He ignores Daniel and Johnny when they come to visit him. Maybe he could join Cobra Kai. So there is a lot left up to us as the audience in terms of how we imagine what Robby is going through in this situation. And I do feel like Kreese visited him more than once and was definitely like, look, you know, you should come and join my dojo. True, he could have said it in the first meeting, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kreese definitely went back there maybe the odd one time or two, just to really sort of plant the seeds. Kreese is a manipulator, and he knows. I've said this, from Season 2, Kreese has been saying, Robby should be here. He should be here in Cobra Kai. Now, I do feel like Kreese does care about Johnny. He sees Johnny as a son, but he shows it in a different way because, you know, his training and his life has gone a completely different way to what a regular person's would. And in that, he thinks, if I take Johnny's son, maybe I can get Johnny as well. He even says in the season finale, 3 generations of Cobra Kai working together. He wants Johnny and Robby to be, you know, his next in line. That's what he wants. But Johnny, rightfully so, wants nothing to do with it. And where Kreese is a complete mastermind is he's planted the seeds within Robby's head to go and join him. And that's what's so beautifully done in this season. Now, again, I can't objectively quantify if Kreese has visited him more than once. But again, even if he hasn't, that one scene was all he needed. And because we don't really see much of Robby, we see scenes, but we don't see much of Robby until probably the last few episodes. And it's only when the last few episodes hit that we start to realize, oh my god, everything's starting to pay off from the start of the season. And I do feel like if Johnny visited Robby instead of Miguel, things could have been different. I do feel like that. Things could have been much different. But, you know, Johnny was in a tough spot. He was getting begged. You know, it's one of them things where Robby feels like he chose Miguel. But if you look at it from Johnny's perspective, again, it's perspective, it's perception. It wasn't like that at all. Johnny's trying to do both. And I did say before the season came out, I said, you know, if Daniel and Johnny work together, Miguel and Robby will both be on their side. If they don't work together, they're going to lose one, and it's going to be Robby. And what happens? They lose him. They pretty much lose him to the dark side. Now, I've said this before at nauseum. Robby needs to go through this. He needs to get the anger and the dark side out in order to come back. Now, my comparison for him and Anakin Skywalker still holds. And I do feel like Robby will make the right choice. In Season 4, there will come a moment when he has to choose what to do. And whether that's him against Sam in the All Valley and him refusing to fight, you know, to hurt her, or whether that's him making a choice, look, I'm not gonna fight. I can't do this. This is wrong, and walking away from the tournament, leaving it ending in a draw. You don't know. You just don't know. But Robby will make the right choice, whether it's Season 4 or Season 5. I've said this before. That rhymed. Is that Robby's arc will play out across the show. His arc is the long stretch. You know, it's the long stretch arc. He isn't a season-to-season kind of character. He is long-term. And if you rewatch Season 2 especially, you know, and the end of Season 1, you know, him and Miyagi-Do, his life was going better. He started turning it around. And now he's going back down the same path that he would have gone down inevitably anyway, had it been different circumstances. So that's just my spread on why I feel like Robby was forgotten this season, or, you know, why he wasn't in this season as much, because it was a deliberate creative choice, because that's the point of Robby's story this season. He's the one who's forgotten. And, you know, yes, people have tried reaching out. Daniel tried reaching out to him. Daniel and Johnny both tried at the start of the season. But then things started happening. Daniel had to go to Okinawa. Johnny had to tend to Miguel, and then Robby just became the forgotten one. Sam had her own trauma. And yes, Robby should be considerate that people have other things they're going through. But my point is that Robby he's not feeling this for the last 3 seasons. He's felt it for 16, 17 years. This isn't a new feeling for him. You know, every time look at the face that he makes when it's like, Keen, you have a visitor tomorrow. Wait, does it say who's visiting me? Lawrence. Johnny, or something. Look at the look on his face. That's a look of hope. That is a look of hope right there. He's hoping that his father is coming to see him. And, you know, you see it all the time. A kid or anyone, you know, it doesn't matter what age you are, where it's like, leave me alone, I don't want any help, is actually a cry for help. They really want someone to show up and be there, but it's their way of testing people to see if they can actually do it. And anytime Robby puts his faith in someone, it never goes well. It goes wrong. So he's feeling like, why the hell should I even bother anymore? And then he gets to the end of Season 3. Is there any surprise why he turns? Is there any surprise? There is a great comment on one of my videos that I would like to read you guys, because I feel it was such a great, just such a great understanding of the Robby character, and something that I really enjoyed. Someone said, why do you like Robby so much? He kicked Miguel over a railing, stole Sam off him, he was cocky in Season 2, and tried to start on Miguel when he's recovered. Okay, so allow me to digest. This is a long comment. Now, I don't know if I'm going to agree with everything in this comment, but this comment kind of understands where Robby comes from. Miguel has a loving, stable family. Robby was ditched by his birth father, and his mum is an addict. Why didn't Johnny, who also lives in Reseda, visit him for the past 16 years? Robby was left to fend for himself. Even when he was stealing laptops with his little gang, he looked like he didn't like what he was doing. His actions, skipping school, stealing, and being a delinquent scream, "Save me." Who saved him? He got in with the LaRussos to get back at his dad, but their warmth and acceptance changed him. At the club, he told Amanda, "I'm not the same person I used to be. Kids aren't great with conflict." So when he should have told Daniel about his dad, he didn't. They fear how the conflict will resolve. Daniel should have immediately forgiven him. Robby offered his hand to Miguel at the tournament, and instead of sportsmanlike conduct, Miguel yanked his injured shoulder. He showed goodness when he refused to help his thug friends steal from the Russos' auto group, and also when he helped find Amanda's wallet. He showed goodness. He didn't want to screw up the relationship he was developing with the LaRussos by kissing Sam. He felt gratitude for what he was given. Ultimately, his hormones got the better of him. He always wanted to hang out with his mum. She basically abandoned him as much as Johnny did. How often do teen boys want to hang out with their mums? He tried to protect Sam at the party and help sober her up. He took her to his father's apartment for her when he didn't have any kind of relationship with his dad and didn't know what to expect. He put her above himself. He offered to take the blame in the event. Daniel had a blowout over the situation. He told Sam the truth about the Medal of Honor. He bared his soul. He tried multiple times to stop the fight between Tory and Sam. Kicking Miguel over the ledge was an accident. Miguel told him that Sam loved him, not Robby. In the middle of a fight his girlfriend provoked. Can you imagine that? Robby ran because he was afraid. Without talking to him first, Daniel found him and turned him into the police. His mum should have had that talk with him, but she doesn't have the tools yet. He was minding his own business in juvie, reading and not causing any trouble. He was concerned when another guy was bullied. He still displayed the Miyagi-Do tact of taking a stance of defense. It wasn't until after Kreese visited him that he punched first. I admit I was disappointed to see him almost hit Miguel rather than apologize or show humility, but imagine how dejected, betrayed, and lost he must feel. The Sam-Miguel relationship felt rushed to me. I'm sure it was a shock to him. His dad had every opportunity to stop by and see him, but when it mattered, when Robby had been told he was coming, Johnny chose Miguel. Like another fan pointed out, Johnny wasn't at the dojo to save his son. He didn't even know Robby was there with Kreese. He was there to exact revenge on what had been done to Miguel. Robby's life has been a series of tragedies. I hope the writers give him love, hope, and redemption. Robby, more than any other character on the show, has my heart and hope. My son was in Taekwondo for 6 years. He achieved the rank of a 3rd-degree black belt. I enrolled him because of a neighborhood bully. I empathize with Robby and Miguel, but Robby more so. He deserves a loving, caring home. And mic drop. But yeah, guys and girls, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought. And that comment was from Laura Metzger. So I'm going to probably maybe put a little just a thing there so that way maybe you guys can see it. But yeah, this comment was absolutely amazing. Laura, if you watch this and you hear me say this, that paragraph there was absolutely insane. So if that's all the reasoning you guys need, then I'm going to see you in another video soon. And remember, your karate... Wait, what was it? What was it that Mike said? Oh yeah, your karate's a joke.